Next up is Robert Murray, one of our Toastmaster favorites here at Bayview. He is going to be, he's become quite, I'm impressed. He's become quite the Zoom conferencing expert, and he has done very well for himself in taking people from Zoombies to Zoomtastic. Out of his dynamic leadership number 5 through 3 lessons learned exercise, he's going to present a speech about a lessons learned meeting that the speaker facilitated, or present a speech about the speaker's leadership experience facilitating the lessons learned meeting. Once again, Robert Murray, from Zoombies to Zoomtastic.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. What I was thinking about doing in this was to give you some of the features of Zoom that I have found work the best for creating levels of engagement, and maybe some of the things that you had no idea that you could even do in Zoom. So there's probably quite a few things in Zoom that you know you can do. And I'm sure everybody knows already, I see people are using it, that it's quite easy to do virtual backgrounds. And as you can see here, I've got the Zoomies. You know, they're surrounding me. And so many of us have turned into Zoomies. But did you also know that there's a new feature in Zoom 5.3 and upward where you can do things like putting hats on yourself, or reactions, or put yourself into a TV screen, or appropriate for 2020, making sure that you bring your mask, because we all know that that will significantly reduce the spread, particularly at this time of the year. Now, there will be ambrosial elements of Zoom getting released in versions 6 to 6.3, where you're actually going to be able to get some smells. Those are not out yet. So right now we're limited to being able to wear our masks, and that is it. Some of the things that you might not know that you can do in Zoom if you have upgraded, and this is only if you have upgraded to Zoom 5.2. But did you know that you could arrange the order of the little boxes? So if you go right now to gallery view, and if you want to see people in a different order, you can drag them into whatever order you want to see them in right away. And it's a really useful feature if you're trying to remember, for instance, who you've called on or who you haven't called on, or if you want to reorder people. Now, as you're doing this, this is not reordering the people that it's not reordering what other people see. This is your view specifically so that you can remember what you're doing. There's quite a few other features in Zoom that are useful, and I'm not going to go into all the technical details because I think a lot of you are familiar with that. Obviously, you know that you need good lighting, you need good sound, a lot of the basics of using Zoom. But there's quite a few interesting things that you can do on Zoom to create a level of engagement that's so fascinating. And I'm going to share a few of those with the group. One of them is to have shared resources with other people. So one of the things that you can do is you can create something called a Padlet. And in this, you can see a Padlet of a process that we're doing called Awakening Conscious Leadership. It's being developed for the conscious capitalism community. And as we're doing this, one of the people who's tracking what's going on is posting drawings and things that people have posted within the shares right onto this group so that you can remember what happens. We have people talking about it. We have quotes. We have pictures of people. We have Daniel Friedland's book. And if you click on it, you can see the actual handout and the roadmap that is right in there. And this is the agenda of the exact design. It's super easy to use. And suddenly, as things change, all the other participants see it. Another thing that you can do, and we've done this really effectively when we're doing demonstrations. So one of the things that I'm doing is helping people who are doing one-on-one coaching shift to group coaching. And so we created a spreadsheet for them and we gave them the link and we said, let's all just play together. And we said, how much are you billing per session? How many clients are you going to have? And then they can calculate out the total hourly rate. And then we go, well, what happens if you have a group program? And you can see the dramatic difference. So there's a very interactive element and everybody can see everybody else's information in real time. And you can see, because there were financial numbers in here, we made it very clear that it was ABC. You can just pick a title. You don't necessarily need to be saying what you charge for coaching right now if you feel uncomfortable with that. But also for interactivity, we've created something called the Future Design Game, where we invited people to actually share as a group ways that they could engage with each other. And so we did put their names there. And then we say, what strengths do you have? Imagine 6 months from now, where do you want to be? And as people are typing the answers, they can see everybody else's answer. And then they have a link going on to the future so that they can continue to share their what they're looking for, the things that they need help with, and where they're strong, so they know how people can collaborate with each other. Another thing that's a really cool feature in Zoom that I've recently, and I'll share this later if anybody wants it, but there's an upgrade to Zoom for $12.99 where you can get unlimited cloud recording. Game changer to have unlimited cloud recording for me. And what it does is it gives you the option of having speaker view, gallery view, audio only, chat files, all recorded. You can pick everything because if it's unlimited, why not? And then when you click in the speaker view, you also have the option of transcription in real time. And watch what happens if you click this. Subtitles in real time once the transcription is made. And this is all built into the Zoom functionality and completely free. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with Zoom, and this is just touching the surface. I haven't even talked about using Ecamm Live and picture and video filters and everything else, but there's so much that can be done to make the meetings more interesting, more engaging, more fun, more enjoyable for people. And if anybody needs some additional information on how to do this, because there's a lot here, and this is just literally touching the surface, I'd be glad to share some additional things with people. Or if there's enough demand for it, maybe have a Q&A for the Toastmasters group in general. But Zoom can be really fun. And if we're going to be spending 12 hours like I am on Zoom, you might as well do everything that you can to make them as interesting and enjoyable as you possibly can. Madam Toastmaster.
Bravo, bravo.